Today, I stand before you filled with pride and hope. As we begin discussions at the Africa Climate Summit, we look forward to your support towards an ambitious agenda to change the perception on the place of Africa in the global efforts to combat the climate change crisis. The journey that got us here today has been long in the making, thanks to the very visionary leadership of our heads of state and government, who took no less than 3 assembly decisions at the 32nd, 33rd, and 34th African Union Assembly sittings to make this African Climate Summit a reality. In a bold and courageous move, His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, President of Kenya, at the COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh in November 2022, did announce and offered to host the inaugural Africa Climate Summit here in Nairobi in his capacity as the chair of the Committee of African Heads of State and Government on Climate Change. Excellencies, honorable colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, that moment is finally here with us. And I wish to express my profound gratitude to the African Union Commission as co-hosts of this summit, and especially to my sister Ambassador Josepha Sako, who together with her talented and dedicated team made sure that we were in strict adherence to the African Union instruments governing the hosting of summits. I am also very indebted to my colleague ministers of environment who have shown tremendous support and guidance and insight throughout this journey. The same goes to the African group of negotiators who have been guiding us through the process and supporting it up to where we are today. Ladies and gentlemen, our overarching goal for this summit is to chart a green growth pathway for the African continent, setting the stage for Africa to lead the globe towards a more ecologically responsible global industrialization, catalyzed by financing that is accessible, adequate, and affordable. Consequently, the summit does present to us, Africa, an opportunity to develop and presents a new and bold vision for Africa as a continent with tremendous potential, abundant opportunities that can be used to solve the climate crisis. I therefore call upon all of us here to use the next 3 days to explore options as to how we can optimize Africa's abundant human and natural resources to leapfrog towards a low-carbon economy while opening new opportunities for climate finance, trade, investments, innovation, resilience, and green jobs. Excellencies, honorable colleagues, the climate change debate has entered a new era. It is no longer just about tackling an environmental or development problem, but about addressing climate change in the context of justice. We must look at African countries and their high debt distress, contextualizing it with our ability to adapt and mitigate climate change. We must look at the impact of climate change to our economies, which are heavily dependent on climate-sensitive sectors, such as agriculture, tourism, fisheries, energy, and forestry, among others. We must also be cognizant of the climate change nexus with migration and the need to climate-proof our infrastructure. That is why we are persuaded that if we do not develop adequate response measures to deal with the climate change crisis, it will crush us all together. Let us therefore step up and lead the world to find solutions for climate change by listening to all voices at this climate summit, including from youth, indigenous communities, and civil society from Africa and beyond.